As we step into life beyond 70, many things begin to shift, not because the outside world is changing too fast, but because something inside us is quietly transforming. Life slows down, and our priorities begin to realign. What once seemed important may now feel light, even unnecessary. At this stage in life, we can look back at everything like a nearly finished film, our relationships, dreams, and all the worries that once dominated our days. And then, one big question quietly surfaces: what truly matters now? And what is no longer worth holding on to? This video isn't about telling you to change. It's a gentle reminder that maybe, just maybe, it's time to live a little differently, lighter, more honestly, and more freely. Here are 9 things many people over 70 have come to realize are no longer worth worrying about. 1. Freeing yourself from the gaze of others. For most of our lives, we've learned to live in a way that pleases others: how we dress, how we speak, and even how we make big decisions. But eventually, we come to understand, no one else can live our life for us, and no one has the right to define our worth through their lens. After decades of trying to please others, now is the time to live true to ourselves. Judgments, opinions, and social standards, they're just perspectives, not truths. Letting go of the need for approval is the first step toward a life of deeper peace and freedom. 2. Gently letting go of unnecessary possessions. In our younger years, having more often felt like a sign of success. But over time, those very items become burdens. They take up space in our homes, and sometimes, in our minds. Life after 70 can feel much lighter when we begin to sort through what truly brings us joy, and bravely let go of the rest. Simplicity doesn't just ease our living spaces, it creates room for inner calm and clarity. 3. Reassessing relationships and social obligations. Many of us have attended gatherings or events out of politeness or habit. But in our later years, we can give ourselves permission to say no, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Not every relationship needs to be maintained. Not every event is worth your time. Peace sometimes comes from a quiet evening at home, not small talk with acquaintances. Freedom isn't about how many people surround us, but about being ourselves in spaces we choose. 4. No longer living by others' beauty standards. For decades, society has pushed a narrow image of beauty: youthfulness, flawless skin, a slim figure, and hair with no gray. But as age begins to mark our faces, we start to see beauty in a deeper way. There's no need to cling to what belonged to youth. We can embrace who we are: wrinkles as the memory of laughter, silver hair as the witness to reflection, love, and loss. True beauty lies not in appearance but in presence, grace, and kindness carried within. Society may continue to praise youth, but after 70, we get to redefine beauty for ourselves, where authenticity, wisdom, and lived experience shine brighter than any makeup ever could. 5. Letting go of joys that no longer fit. There are hobbies, habits, and routines that have stayed with us for years. They once brought us happiness, but as time passes, we change, and what once excited us may now feel like a repeated duty. There's nothing wrong with changing. We don't have to stick with something just because we've done it for so long. Life flows forward, and each of us has the right to explore new joys. Even in our twilight years, time is the most precious thing we have. If something no longer lights you up, it may be time to quietly close one chapter and open another, one that feels more fitting, gentler, and true to who you are now. 6. Creating distance from relationships that hurt. Not everyone we meet brings good energy into our lives. Some uplift us. Others, even those close to us, can leave us feeling small, exhausted, or judged. In our younger years, we might have kept harmful relationships out of fear of conflict, loneliness, or guilt, but after 70, inner peace becomes far more valuable than pleasing others. You don't need a dramatic ending, just a quiet choice to keep your distance. Stay close to those who make you feel safe, heard, and truly seen. That is the gift you fully deserve at this stage in your life. 7. Releasing silent comparisons to others. We often compare without even realizing. Someone has a bigger house, more successful children, better health, more vacations, but looking at your life through someone else's lens will only ever leave you feeling less. After 70, we've walked long enough to understand that each person's journey is unique. success, happiness, peace, they are personal. No two paths are the same, and they don't need to be. When we stop comparing, we begin to see the treasures already present in our own lives: steadiness, meaningful people, beautiful memories, and ourselves, just as we are. 8. Redefining life's goals. In our earlier years, goals often meant achieving career success, financial stability, raising successful children, building a home, but at some point, we pause and ask, do these things still matter now? After 70, goals are less about accomplishments and more about alignment. It's about spending time with what truly moves us. It's about slowing down, becoming present, and seeing each day as a precious gift. We still have desires, but they've transformed. Instead of chasing what's ahead, we turn inward, to listen, to heal, and to live a life that's soft, thoughtful, and meaningful. 9. Prioritizing your own happiness, without guilt, from a young age. We're taught that life is about giving, to family, to community, to those we love, but if we give everything without caring for ourselves, our emotional cup will run dry. After decades of giving, you now have the right, and the need, to put yourself first, not because it's selfish, but because you are worth it. Your happiness doesn't harm anyone. On the contrary, it brings light to everyone around you. Allow yourself to rest. To do what you love. To enjoy the smallest moments. Personal happiness isn't a luxury, it's a vital part of a life fully lived. After 70 years of life, there is nothing left to prove, no need to explain yourself. No need to fight to be understood. This is the time to live in your own way, authentically, simply, and with deep appreciation. Let go of what no longer fits, whether it's others' expectations, excess possessions, or draining relationships. Lighten your life's baggage so you can continue your journey with ease. And most importantly, live each day with awareness, not for the past, not for the future, but for this very moment, where you are still breathing, still feeling, and still able to choose how to live. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe our channel, like, share it with friends or loved ones who might need this information. We'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions, and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Your feedback is incredibly important, it helps us improve every day. Thank you very much, see you in the next video.